What's up, guys? It is August 9th, 2024, 5 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon here in the Reykjanes Peninsula, Iceland. What's up to the people on the chat? We have nice sunny weather at the moment, partly cloudy. Some clouds just started rolling in. It was beautiful before. It was clear blue skies, and we just had a couple of we have some wind also, wind that just started appearing. It's not too bad. Just got a little bit windy, but no problem. I'm gonna try to get the drone out again. It can definitely handle whatever's out there right now. And as far as we had some earthquake activities last night. There was a break of earthquakes between on 6 o'clock yesterday in the afternoon p.m. till 12, and then it started up again. It started ticking. There's two that registered over one. Actually, three that registered over one magnitude. And a lot of the activity has been happening in the between stora-skogfell and ICELAND'S mountains. So that region there with the previous eruption from May. That has been the activity in the last 12 hours. In terms of hitting earthquakes, but nothing crazy. We received a lot more earthquakes. I believe we received 300 since Monday, so it's definitely a lot more. Right now we have the live cam that's facing the last eruption area near one of the craters that was standing for a bit until it shut off. But it's still puffing, it's still releasing gases. But in a few moments, we're going to send up the drone and check out some aerial perspectives of the area, just to see what's happening here by the Reykjanes Peninsula near Grindavík. We are at the end of the week, which means we have reached the magma chamber limit, which is 20 million cubic meters of lava, of magma underneath. That's the limit at the current moment, which also was the number that was last produced for the eruption. So we are at the eruption capacity in the chamber, but like as we were saying, we read the article a couple of days ago that the chamber is expanding past the 20 million mark. So the belly is increasing, and the pressure hasn't been met in terms of the breakthrough. So we're just waiting on that. So since we're at the end of the week, we are now in the extension period, or the expanding period of the eruption, meaning from here on out, the chamber just gets bigger, and it's basically whenever it pops. So 21 million, 22 million, 23 million, maybe 25 million cubic meters of magma until it can't give any more and it just pops. But um, yeah, I think we are down to the countdown days. And I'm sure by next week we're going to get more earthquakes as the pressure starts to become more intense, since we're in the expansion extension period. So I'm gonna set up, uh, get the drone ready, and then we'll have the live feed from an aerial perspective in a few minutes. So the mention about the burning of the drone, a little fun little fact here as I'm setting this up. Drones are pretty much like a graveyard here, or anywhere near the eruption zone. It was pretty much said that the volcanic eruptions became a graveyard for drones here in Iceland, due to the amount of drones that were melted and lost inside the volcano. When it's erupting, obviously. One thing to know also when you fly a drone near a volcano is the weather the weather change, the dramatic weather changing near the volcano, the eruption or the crater, due to the tremendous amounts of heat and cold air from the actual weather itself. Another thing is the volcano during the eruption creates a electromagnetic interference when it erupts, which disrupts the radio antenna on the drones. So if you're flying near it, near the crater, you might get this interference signal, which happened a lot to a lot of people, of the interference. And a lot of the drones were lost because of that. And basically, they lost control. So it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. And obviously, if you're flying it for the first time, you don't know these things. So I'm just setting this up, and we'll be up in a few minutes. All right, drone feed should be coming in a few seconds. We are currently looking at the power plant in Thorbjorn Hill, Blue Lagoon, as we are looking south towards Grindavik. And I think that was, what was that? Yeah. As you can see, there's this cloudy situation here. There's the old eruption area region right next to ICELAND'S. This is stora-skogfell. And let's see, let's start scanning the area. Let's see what we got. Let's scan and observe. We'll do a little 360 and check out what we have here. I'll give you a little tour of the area, show you the goodies. By the way, if you are just tuning in, we're gonna scan a little bit here of the Regenus Peninsula near the last eruption zone. Just overhead here, we could see the first eruption, the crater, the rim of Fragadarsfjall, the eruption that happened in 2021, which is massive. That one lasted a couple of months. It actually erupted in two sessions, in two cycles. The first one started in March, and then the second one started in October, I believe. And that's the rim right there. We could see it. It's a volcano that erupted on top of a hill, on top of a mountain, more than nothing. And there's the leftover. And that whole area up there is filled with new lava. Filled. It's a tremendous amount of lava that's up there. So we're going to start scanning to the right as we rotate towards the south coast. In front of us, we have Stora-skogfell Mountain. In the distance, we can see Fieldesfjall and Husefell. As we see the first glimpse of the Atlantic Ocean, and between the two mountains cradling like it's a 2D image, and it depicts almost like a lake, and we're seeing it from the side underneath, which is pretty cool. For those of you that are into paintings or art. And the cool part about this view right now is we have a boat that's kind of like on the top right of that line, that blue line, which is the ocean. But cool little art design made by nature from a different perspective. Let's continue scanning to the right as we see more of the lava field. Things are very, very quiet. Not that much gas is coming out. There's a few puffs right there. And now could the eruption also, I guess, open up within the new lava? Would the fresh lava that came from May, could it possibly also open up within that? Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't think this has any limits, because if it finds a weak spot, it'll just pop. There's some more in the back there in the distance. The twin gas streams, as I call it. Right now they're not too much. They're not much of twins, but before they were perfect. They would gas up upwards up the mountain when the wind was hitting it right, and when both of them were releasing the same amount of gas. But now it looks like the wind conditions there are kind of weird. I think the wind is actually coming down the slope and pushing it down, as you can see. But before it was a nice smooth upstream. The wind conditions in that area there seem to be heading towards the south, I think. Like, let me see if I can check the wind conditions. But I think that winds are pushing to the south. Let me just double check. Yes. So current wind conditions are south. South, southeast, I would say. So let's continue down to the right, heading south. As we get a nice panoramic view of the landscape. And then we're going to approach this secondary crater that's been puffing for a while now. This was one of the craters that lasted close enough to the end, but then it shut down, and the other crater took over, which we'll get to, which is right next to it, and we'll pan over to it in a few seconds. But this one was what is the only one right now that's kind of like showing any activity or any smoke, any signs of life. But you can see there, it's not, the wind condition is not as crazy, but it is moving towards the south, as we can see in the gas. So I'll zoom in a little bit closer. Just checking here, some earthquake activity, and let's see the last 3 hours. Last 3 hours shows nothing. So things are pretty calm. And let me see weather conditions for the day. We're gonna sun. 6 o'clock, partly cloudy. Then late in the evening, it's gonna get cloudy again. Okay. All right, let's continue observing here. Let's go towards the south. And again, guys, if you're tuning in, you can always use this as an observation. If you're also tuning in to scan and observe, two eyes are better than one. So if you see something that I might not even catch, you could just say it in the chat or something. But I'm sure we're all going to see it if anything, if any anomalies start showing up. There's some more smoke there as we see as we approach to the main crater that lasted till the end of May. I'm sorry, June. There's some smoke coming out of there. And this was the last crater. This was the crater that developed from the May eruption. And now it just seems it's taking a little nap. Although there is some gases coming out of the rim here. Just slightly, not too much. As we approach the ICELAND'S mountain, and you can see there how they're kind of building this wall structure. It's also a road that rides along the edge of the mountain. Let's see if we can get a nice little glimpse of Grindavík from here. As we push a little bit further, now we're facing south. As the sun is shining nice and beautiful down there. And you can see the locals working day and night, pushing the dirt and the lava, whatever is needed to build these protections, these wall protections for the town of Grindavík. There's an article that came out, I think yesterday or the day before, where they already proposed a bill totaling about $470 million for the repairs and any future projects, just in case. This already is kind of like a ghost town. They're saying that about 3,000 residents have already fled, meaning they might not come back to Grindavík. So the volcano town that once thrived from the volcanoes, it's starting to see its end because of the volcano. I can't tell you how many times I've passed through this town to see the Fragadas Fiat 2021, 2022 Eruption. As you can see, the lava covering 43 that leads into Grindavík. There's the main road entrance right there. And the roundabout where there's a sculpture there, a beautiful sculpture, and a beautiful and nice cafe right there on the corner where that was kind of like the meetup spot while you entering Grindavík for these volcanic eruptions. And now it's just no more. Good times eating at Papa's, some fish and chips, burgers, the hangouts at the campsite just before heading into 427. And now let's continue rotating towards the right. Now we're south and we're going into southwest. As we see the lava field, we see Thornburn Hill with the naval radio transmitter tower antennas at the top. And we get a little glimpse of the power plant. Still operational, still puffing. And the tremendous amount of lava that filled and overfilled Route 43 that got covered twice within those two eruptions. There's the power plant. And just below that, we could see the lava. And then just a little tip of 43 where they had remade the road. And then it actually, the original 43 ends where the bus is. So where that bus has stopped, that's the end of the original 43. And now it's just a little parking area to check out the lava. And by the way, don't walk on the lava. Do yourself a favor and don't walk on the lava. I've seen scenarios where you just don't want to know what happens. For some reason, I don't know why it's so tempting to walk on the lava, but just don't do it. And then there's the Veer. This is the new road, the 426 split that leads to the Blue Lagoon, which is still operational. So if you're heading to Iceland, you can still enjoy a little bit of the Blue Lagoon. As the bus is coming out of Blue Lagoon, do a little pit stop there at the rest stop. And people can enjoy a little bit of the lava view. As we're going to see. There's the Blue Lagoon up on the top right. as we see the coast, the Atlantic Ocean, as we're facing now southwest towards more of the tip of the Regenus Peninsula. I know this area here is also ticking. It's also dancing. Tremors are being detected around this area. Let's do another, just come around and get back to the original spot as we go around the whole peninsula. Got about 10 minutes of battery life till I have to swap as we approach Tanos Osbru and Keflavik International Airport down there. There's the harbor, Keflavik. And then we have Route 41, which is the main road between Keflavik and Reykjavik. As you see the cars moving left to right, little tiny dots on the screen. And here's 43, which is wide open, operational if you're heading to the Blue Lagoon. There's the exit and entrance. And Volgar. Let me see if we can reach up to Reykjavik down there. There's a cruise ship passing by. And it's kind of hazy, but you can see the church. There's Reykjavik. It's pretty cool. You can see it from here. And that's about it. So that's a nice little 360. I'm going to zoom out just a bit and just get a nice wide shot for these last 10 minutes. As we see some of the lava field and just observe what we got here. Wind is starting to pick up and we are getting that cloud formation. All right, I'm gonna have to swap the battery, so I'll be right back.